if something like that, we'll always be networked in some way, shape, or form. And there's a beauty to that. But if we lose track that the community is the real essence of why we're alive, it brings so much, alive. You look at mental health issues, like those that isolate them, depression, anxiety, trauma, they're all isolative conditions. When community is brought forth, they can actually do healing. First Nation people have known this for eons, and they will have ceremony, ritual, and process to actually allow for that healing process to be contained, vectored, and moved through. I mean, I'm in the shadow of a thing called Upper Wilson's Creek, which is deep in the Nightcap Range, the largest caldera or big volcanic area in the Southern Hemisphere, and really, really powerful land. I mean, Mount Warning, it is just over there, and it's the first place that the light touches Australia, the Australian mainland, in the morning. And Mount Warning itself is for the Indigenous, it's the place of spiritual constitution and law, LORE. So it's really, really powerful land. Actually, a major song line or ley line across Australia, between Byron Bay and Monkey Mia, right over on the west coast. I'm sitting on it. And up in the valley of Wilson's Creek, that was just man territory and trauma. People would go in there, heal the trauma, and the women would hold space around the escarpment. They wouldn't go in. And so they knew the land, they knew the community, they knew what was needed. And you look at farming communities, and I'm pretty sure, with my understanding of being over the States a bit, there's a lot of similarity in that essence, not only from your Indigenous people there, but also from your country people. They know the land so much better. But you then come into the cities, and when we get out of our own backyard, out of our own like apartment block, etc., and we start meeting people, when we do that, there's a sense of unity that comes together instead of separation. And so what I found is community is the number one building block. When we get that right, then everything else starts to take form. So come back to this initial point, which was people are waiting so much for everyone else. And we had 22 communities across the eastern seaboard of Australia. And what my job was, particularly, was the architect to build the governance and the leadership structures for that. But also what I quickly identified was a shift of consciousness was necessary. And there was a lot of fighting. People were fighting because they didn't like what was going on. But the issue with the fight is that the rebel or the rebellion is dictated by the authority that they're rebelling against. If you think about it, if the authority moves left, then you have to move right. If it moves right, you have to move left. And so what I was helping them understand is that when you do that, you're creating from the old and you're creating from your trauma. So you'll simply but create more trauma. And therefore you have a need for trauma. You're actually trauma bonded. So what I was helping people understand is we can move beyond resilience and trauma to create from a place of love. And when you do that, you completely create from a place new that is for you and for your family, for your future. North American Indians make a decision in considering 7 generations into the future, because they know that 7 generations before were connected to the moment in time that they're in right now. So, using those very simple ancient concepts, and just helping people remember them, and then empowering people to stand up and saying, we don't actually agree with the fact that you guys are removing this beautiful country because of all these trees, etc., for some development. No, this is our community, and our community wants to be in a certain way. But not just saying that, being able to not fight it per se, but provide alternative options, provide a way forward, a vision for everyone to move forward, not just to go stop, 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 but I realize, okay, no, we don't want to go in that direction. So let's stop that direction, but we need to set another direction. Otherwise, stagnation causes cancer.
Right. Don't just fight where someone's going. Give a better direction. You need to don't just be against someone else's solution. You need to come up with your own.
Yeah. I mean, I remember when I was a combat team commander, I had over 110 soldiers, and I had 3 key young lieutenants that were part of they were my teeth of the group, because we're a combat organization. And whenever they walk in, matter of fact, whenever anyone walked into my office, I said, that door will always remain open. Whether or not you walk in or not, that's a different thing. Because if you walk in with an issue, you're going to bring 3 solutions. Because that shows me you've been proactive and you thought about it. You haven't just come to dump it on my desk. And that's not respectful to me. And it's actually therefore not respectful to yourself, because you're disempowering yourself. So walk into my office with an issue, have three solutions. Now, sometimes they come in and they go, "Sir, I've really scratched my head about this one. I've got no idea." So we'd sit down together and we work through it. Or sometimes they'd throw their three options on the table and say, "Yep, what I also know is this, this, and this, and what I also have available is this. So let's come up with option four." So we'd do that. But quite regularly, especially when we then deployed to Iraq into combat, where time was of the essence.